I am Dr. Michelle Klinger. I am a licensed psychologist and a licensed professional clinical counselor, and I am the clinical director of Firelands Counseling and Recovery Services. And I'm going to talk to you today about worry. Now, we all do worrying. There isn't a one of us who don't worry a little bit. But when worry gets excessive, it can cause us some problems. It can cause problems like depression, anxiety, irritability, grouchiness, insomnia. And it also has physiological consequences such as stomach distress, headaches, even muscle tension, where if you have any aches and pains, that's going to be exacerbated. So what I'm going to share with you today is a couple of strategies to really help you keep that worry as limited as possible. The first technique I'm going to share with you is a thing called cognitive reframing. And that's where what you're going to do basically is try to identify any negative, maladaptive, non-productive thinking that you are engaging in, and take a rope, throw a lasso around that negative thinking, throw it out, and put in more positive, pleasant, adaptive, productive thinking in its place. So let me give you an example. Let's take two guys who get fired from their job. Okay, that's a very stressful event. The first guy who gets fired is like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is the most horrible thing that's ever happened to me. You know what? I'm older now. Nobody's going to want to hire me. And plus now I got a firing on my record. I'm not going to be able to get unemployment compensation because I've been fired. My wife, my kids, they're going to see me as a loser. I'm not going to be able to pay the bills anymore. Heck, my wife will probably even end up leaving me. What am I going to do? Now, how is that guy coping? How is he going to be feeling? Certainly not very well. So let's take another guy who's gotten fired from his job, who has more positive thinking going. He says, you know what? Good. I've been meaning to get out of this crappy place for a long time. Now I just have to. You know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to brush the dust off of my suit. I'm going to get out there and sell myself. You know what? In the end, I bet you I find a better job, better pay, better atmosphere. You know what? I bet this is a blessing in disguise. And you know what? Me and my wife, we've been through tough times before. And she's going to support me, and we're going to get through this. And I'll probably be much better off in the end. Now, how's that guy going to be coping? Which guy is going to be coping better, the first guy or the second guy? I mean, certainly the second guy. He has a lot more hope, a lot more confidence, and that's probably even going to help him have better chance to be able to land that next job. So I would encourage you, the next time you're really engaging in some pretty significant worrying, take a moment, sit down, try to write out all the negative thinking that I guarantee you're doing in your head. Cross out those negative thoughts and try to replace them with more positive, healthy thoughts. And then, read over them, because the more that you read over them and accept them, the better you're going to feel. All right, now the second strategy I want to share with you is basically a distraction technique. What we're wanting to do is we want to not have any room in that head of yours for worry. And there is a wonderful technique called mindfulness. And what we do with mindfulness is we completely get in touch with the here and now, and we try to use all of our 5 senses when we're doing so. So my favorite mindfulness technique is nature mindfulness. And what I do is I just find a beautiful thing in nature, and I just try to focus on it in complete detail, and again, engage all my senses while I'm doing it. So I'm going to take this beautiful yellow gladiola, that I think it's gladiola, I think that's what they're called, that I found in my garden. And as I'm looking at that gladiola, it has a beautiful yellow color. I see where the yellow is lighter at the top, and then at the bottom where it's starting to get a little old, it looks like it darkens a little bit with the yellow color. I'm noticing in the center, they has I think they're called stamens. I could be wrong with that, but there's 3 stamens in there. And then I see there's an additional stem of something that branches off into 3 little pieces. I don't even know what that's about. I think that's where the pollen goes and everything. I'm going to take a smell of this. Let me smell to see how it smells. Well, it doesn't have any smell. I thought gladiolas had smell to it. I'm not smelling any smell. But I do smell nature outside here. I smell like some recently cut grass that has a nice fragrance to it. And while I'm standing here looking at this beautiful gladiola, I'm feeling the air breeze go through my hair and brush past my body, and I feel the warmth of the sun, and you know what? It's a beautiful day. And now if that worry wants to try to creep in there, you just use thought stopping and say, get on out of there. There's no place for you right now. I'm having some peaceful thoughts here, and that should help you stave off that worry. So, couple strategies. You know, the one thing about our techniques in our field is they're not rocket science. They're very simple techniques, but the key is you have to try to use them. So I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to give these techniques a try 1 or 2 times and see if they do bring you some benefit. Thank you for listening. Take care.